Good afternoon, I'm Jody Daly.
I'm Brian Sharaff, and this is the afternoon edition of PLMA's direct from the show floor coverage of the 2014 Store Brands Reality Trade Show here at Rosemont Exhibition Center in Chicago.
Well, the big news this morning was the keynote speech by America's favorite social hostess, Martha Stewart, at the opening breakfast. Nearly 1,000 manufacturers, retailers, and all kinds of other folks were there on hand for the keynote. And after the introductions of the PLMA dais, it was Martha's turn, and she did not disappoint the audience either, reminding them that success in business means giving consumers what they want and what they need. The key, she said, was to make sure new products and ideas are affordable.
You know, branding is clearly what Martha is all about. Christopher Durham, whose online website, My Private Brand, chronicles the growth of store brands, shares her belief in branding. Bob Vosberg interviewed Christopher about the importance of branding.
Christopher, what's so important about branding for private label?
Well, Bob, coming out of the speech with Martha in the keynote breakfast, she really emphasized the value of building her brand and the relationship that she was able to build with her customers, and obviously the successful business that came out of it. For retailers, there's a lot to learn from that.
What do retailers have to do to successfully brand private label?
They have to build that positioning, that personality. So it's easy to see in Martha because she is a real person. There's a personality there, but they can infuse their brands with personality as well, such that the mom shopping builds a relationship with not just the margin or the price or the product, but actually with the brand. So they go, I love this, I have to have it.
And what kind of people do retailers need to have in order to successfully brand this private label business that they're developing?
I mean, they've got to step up their game. I mean, they're consistently hiring today MBAs and people with a lot of experience such that they can go out and market and create new products and really build differentiation.
Thanks for your time, Christopher.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Well, innovation is also a key factor in store brands. Our own Michael Sansolo is on the food side with his latest find.
Hey, Jody. I'm back out here on the exhibit floor, and I've got to tell you, I always like to look for snack items because I love to snack. I'm like a lot of Americans. Well, I have found a really different kind of snack out here. I'm with Ubo Foods. Now, this is a South Korean company, so Ubo is spelled W-O-O-B-O, but they're in booth 6423 if people want to find this. What these guys are selling is they have chips that are made out of seaweed. It's a really thin, paper-thin cracker. You can get them in teriyaki. They also have them in spicy. Then they have these kind of little strips with almonds. Really, really good stuff. I got to show you what these look like because they're so paper thin. It is incredible. But they're really tasty, and there's tremendous nutrition in this because it's a natural product. One other item they have here, because again, as an American, I didn't know about this. Shingo pears in South Korea are a really special item. You give them as gifts to your friends and your family. They've got Shingo pear chips. They have this incredible array of products that you can use to put in your kid's lunchbox to bring to work. You get a little snack, and it's really nutritious. Delicious stuff here, Jody. Jody, I'm still moving around the floor, and now I am with VCL Cocoa. This is booth 7022, but let me tell you, we all want to come here. And here's the reason. We all love chocolate. The good news is we've learned that chocolate can actually be part of a healthy diet. And what these guys are doing is really emphasizing the health aspects of chocolate. They've got these products, and this is so cool. This item here, it's got this little yellow marker, beautiful casing. This chocolate is especially helpful in reducing stress. How cool is that? You get to eat chocolate, reduce your stress at the same time. The green, you can see the green labels. This one is more for pleasure. And again, everything about chocolate is pleasure. But it even comes to this point. This is a candy that has extra protein, so it can actually help people with weight loss. Again, all the benefits of chocolate, and you can even help lose some weight as you're doing it, which is of course fabulous. And one of the ones, because I really like fruit, these little candies here have a full piece of fruit in them. So you get the deliciousness of chocolate, you get health benefits, stress reduction, helps with weight loss, just feels good. VCL Cocoa, you gotta come by and see this one. Jody, we're all looking to put new and exciting flavors into our foods these days, and that's why I love finding booths like this. I'm right now at Robert Rothschild Farms, which is booth 1021. I got to get that right. And I've got to show you some of the combinations they've done here with flavors, because they're really cool. This one, it's a barbecue sauce, pineapple and habanero. One that is really, really hot. You hear about this flavor all the time is sriracha. It's actually an Asian spice, and it gives you a really new flavor to put into all kinds of foods. Well, they've got sriracha with teriyaki. And if you come down to this booth, what you'll see is they have an array of the different products and all of these different flavors. Very creative combinations. So you can use this as a marinade, you could use it as a dressing. And one of the things you can do here is use it as a dip. How cool is that? But one more item. Convenience matters. Well, these guys have convenience packs of their sauces. So you could take this to work. You could bring it, wherever, to the park, if you're going to a concert, and you get a little bit of the dip, and you get your little bag of pretzels. So you get all the benefits of this flavor, convenience, all in one place. Robert Rothschild Farms. Delicious, delicious stuff, Jody. I got to get you down here because you got to be tasting what's on the floor this year because it is outstanding. Let's go back to you up in the studio.
Thanks, Michael. Tati Amara is on the home and health side of the show with her latest find.
Thanks, Jody. I'm here at the Aussie Naturals booth, checking out their unique items for man or woman's best friend. Now, they've got the traditional things like the cute fuzzy toys. I mean, who doesn't love a little fuzzy lamb, a little fat pig, or of course the spotted cow with sound effects. But they also have something that's very unique, which is a complete line of all natural toys. Now let me show you what I picked out. Check out this rattlesnake that they have. The fibers on this toy are all natural, 100% cotton and jute. And you see this tail here? That's all cowhide. Doesn't stop there. To give you hours of tug of war fun with your dog, they've got this item right here, which is called the Wild Boar Tugger. Also all natural cowhide, all natural fibers. But the all natural theme does not end there. Check this out. They've got all natural treats, a complete line. Look at this complete fish skin, Alaskan sockeye wild salmon, filled with nutrition for your pets because this is a natural source of omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, which is great for your pet's skin and coat. 100% natural, no additives, no preservatives. But now let's say you or your pet are not into the whole fish skin thing. Let me show you what they've got for you. Check out the salmon cigar. I can't think of any pet that wouldn't love this. But now for those of you with larger dogs, we've got something for you as well. Check out this antler that comes from a water buffalo. Now this isn't just any water buffalo. We're talking about a grass-fed, free-range water buffalo. This is completely natural and filled with protein. Now let me show you why this does double duty for your large dog. This will give your dog 6 months of chewing action, but it also satisfies his or her natural chewing instinct so they won't be chewing on your shoes or other household items. I mean, who could ask for more than that? So if you're looking for anything in the unique and natural pet space, you've got to check out the Aussie Naturals booth. That's all from the floor. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Tati. Successful marketing of store brands requires a real understanding of who is your target audience. PLMA has just completed an omnibus consumer survey and found some surprises that retailers and manufacturers should know about. Len Lewis spoke with Joe Azanaro, who directed the PLMA research.
Joe, this is the latest in a long series of omnibus surveys by PLMA on consumer trends and shopping habits. What was the biggest surprise in this year's study?
I think one finding stands out above all others, and that relates to a question we asked about consumers' behavior in the store. It's a question we began asking during the recession, and that is, have you tried a store brand for the first time in categories, both food and non-food, where you previously had only purchased a national brand? We asked the question first in 2009, and the response was 35%. It grew to 43% a year later, and this year, it's half. Half of consumers have engaged in this behavior. The other half of that question, of course, is how did the experience work out? And we asked them, and overwhelmingly 90% said that their experience with the store brand compared favorably with their experience with the national brand that had formerly been their favorite.
Basically, how optimistic are consumers about the future in general? We've gone through a lot in the last 4 or 5 years. What are they telling you?
Again, we were surprised that 3/4 of the people in the study say they're optimistic about the future. More than half say they believe their generation is better off or about the same as previous generations. Another half said they believe their children and grandchildren will be better off as or about the same as they are. 40% have said conditions will improve this year. Now, that's not to say the effects of the recession are gone. They're relenting, but they're still being affected by the recession. 1 in every 4 say that in the past year conditions have improved, but most acknowledge they have not been left unscathed. Only 1 in 6 say they've been unaffected by the recessions. At the same time, there's a troubling number of about 20% of consumers for whom things have not gotten better at all. In fact, they've gotten worse during the past year. And within that group, there's a subset of about 7% who don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, and they see conditions will only get worse in the year ahead. So for our economy and for our country, their society, that's a troubling number.
How has the economy of the last several years really changed the consumer purchasing habits in grocery?
Some of the habits that consumers acquired during the recession, they're still engaging in promotions on national brands, a reduction in impulse buying, simply spending less money on groceries, and of course buying more store brands. About 4 in 10 consumers, 4 to 5 in 10 consumers follow those things. However, at the same time, they're still shopping often and widely. Discounters have picked up some traffic, that's not surprising. But supermarkets are still king. 85% of the people in the study said they regularly visit supermarkets. 74% said discounters. Now, that's not to say they buy all their groceries in supermarkets. We know that's not true. We know that supermarkets' share has dipped below 50%. But supermarkets are still on the minds of these consumers. I would say that consumers are spending the same or less, but they're doing so in more places.
Joe, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Reaching consumers, of course, is always a challenge. Unlike national brands, which have multi-million-dollar budgets to influence shopper behavior, store brands have never had that kind of access to consumers. Well, PLMA's new Store Brands USA website may just change all that. Our own Tim Simmons reports.
I'm here with Edward Salzano, co-chairman of Store Brands USA. Edward, I understand you've been involved in the promotion of store brands directly to consumers.
This has been a really exciting program that PLMA created about a year ago. It's a consumer website for the first time that's really advertising store brands, the attributes of it across all categories, directly to the consumer.
How does it work?
It works in that what PLMA has been doing with Store Brands USA is we send out 5 million messages to consumers via Facebook talking about the attributes of store brands across 4 different categories: news, home and health, recipes, and lifestyles.
Why is the program so important?
The program is really important to retailers and manufacturers because it's allowing them to partner when new exciting ideas come about. The manufacturer can take an idea to a retailer, they can work together, they can put a coupon into the program to encourage the consumer to try the category.
So it really benefits private label manufacturers.
It benefits both manufacturers and retailers. It is truly a partnership, and with creativity and with innovation, it's going to bring private brands' consumer awareness to a new level.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Edward. And for Brian and myself, thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow morning with more direct from the show floor coverage. For now, bye-bye from PLMA Live.